Hello, everybody. This is Mike Monty, one half of Long Island's number one pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh. Unfortunately, the Pharaoh's not with me right now, but we want to reach out to all the fans out there and say thank you. What an honor, what a privilege it is that you have assisted us and supported us over the last year as we approach 1 million views on YouTube. We also want to thank Anchor, who supports us on the audio version where we're being heard all across the country. Most recently, number 28 most listened to pro wrestling broadcast. And we want to thank Anchor out there. And for all people who want to do these types of broadcasts and podcasts, by all means, reach out to Anchor, set up your podcast. It's a great way to get your message out to the general public. And again, I want to thank all the fans. You can support us on YouTube, Monty and the Pharaoh page, Facebook Live Monty and the Pharaoh page, Twitch TV Monty and the Pharaoh page, or please go to our website, www.montyandthepharaoh.com, where you can get autographs from all the wrestlers that have been through the who's who of wrestling. You can get pictures, you could get video messages, and don't forget, you could get Tony Atlas's artwork where he'll actually paint something for you. I mean, that's a rare thing. That is a rare thing. Once again, we want to thank everybody for supporting the show. Monty and the Pharaoh, Long Island's number one pro wrestling broadcast every Thursday from 9 to 10 p.m., where you can see the who's who of professional wrestling, future and past. Thanks again, everybody, and we hope to see you soon.
Oh yeah, Monty and the Pharaoh, number one wrestling podcast. Yeah, when it comes to podcasts, they are the cream of the crop. Yeah, dig it?
We know what you're thinking. Did they fire off 6 fascinating points of interest or only 5? Well, to tell you the truth, in all the excitement of watching and listening to Long Island's number one wrestling podcast, I've actually forgotten myself. But being this is the Monty and the Pharaoh podcast, live from Indie Music Studios in Ronkonkoma, and the fact that they were talking to yet another champion wrestling star, one of the most powerful and talented performers from the wrestling franchise, and not to forget, well-informed and provocative interview questions asked and answered. It was such an interesting and entertaining hour, the questions nearly blew your head clean off. Now you've got to ask yourself a question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do ya, punk?
What's up, guys? It's Gina Marie here from Big Brother, and you're watching Long Island's number one pro wrestling broadcast with Monty and the Pharaoh.
All right, welcome back to Long Island number one pro wrestling broadcast. Monty and the Pharaoh, seen only here out of Indie Music TV, live out of Ronkonkoma, New York. This is a special Saturday show with our special guest, ECW, WWE, just overall pro wrestling icon, Mr. Bill Alfonso. But before we get to him, Matty, how you doing, buddy, on a Saturday?
I'm doing awesome.
Jimmy, the star of the show?
It's morning. It's a Saturday.
Well,
I'm here. 'Tis a miracle.
I'm going to hit you with some bad news. So it was on the way in that I heard, so I had to kind of deviate from the script. Tawny Katane, the actress, icon, vixen, passed away yesterday at age 59. It was actually going through social media, but then it wasn't confirmed. It was confirmed this morning. Tawny Katane, the actress best known for appearing in the classic Whitesnake videos, has died at the age 59.
Wow.
News of Katane's death began to spread on Twitter last night, but no outlet had confirmation until this morning, where TMZ has confirmed this as the case. Thoughts on Tawny Katane?
Well, if the video, that I'm shocked, dude. I had no idea. Oddly enough, the Whitesnake behind the scenes there, I think there was some controversy behind the scenes with her relationship with
Coverdale.
Yeah, I believe so. She's definitely one of the most gorgeous faces of the 80s. I think that's fair to say. That video was like, whoa, what the...
Little drop by.
Speaking of some gorgeous faces, how's that? But yeah, man, I don't even know what to say. That's rough. There goes another
icon, right?
Another piece of our youth just fell off the table. Rest in peace. What did she die of?
Nothing confirmed yet.
Nothing confirmed.
59 is awfully young, especially for a woman.
Yeah. I've heard they live longer. I wonder why. But, yeah. Wow.
Great show last Thursday. James Beard from SWE Fury was in. The interview's getting a lot of attention because podcaster Hannibal went on last night. I guess he returned to Canada.
Yes.
And he had a lot to say about that interview that we had, basically calling Teddy Long a piece of shit. I mean, what'd you get out of that?
Well, apparently a lot went on behind the scenes that, Hannibal experienced. It seems to be that way, Very interesting with the Teddy Long situation. I do understand Hannibal's thought process, like, if you have Kevin Sullivan while you're listening to Teddy Long, I could see somebody thinking that. I'm surprised at all of this, man. This is really weird. Somebody wrote, "If this is a work, it's the greatest work ever."
Wow, like
and then Hannibal was like, "You think I moved back to Canada where they won't let me out again because of COVID restrictions? You think I'd do this as a work?" What's your take on all of this?
My take is this is why, if you just take pro wrestling in a little microcosm.
Okay.
This is why AEW and Impact, they're not going to be able to get along. People, especially wrestling, people just can't get along.
Yeah.
And that's why you need one leader of the ship.
Right.
Their way or no way.
Right.
And you don't have this nonsense going on.
Understood. And even if you do have nonsense, you cap it in the knees and you continue the machine forward, if that's what you're getting at, too.
Yeah.
So I understand that. There are reasons why WWE still stands at the top despite all the rumors to the contrary.
Well, James Beard, I thought, was completely honest. He was really, what a gentleman, unbelievable.
Absolutely, a great guest. He was awesome.
All right, well, anyway, I'm digressing. So our special guest in studio is Mr. Bill Alfonso, and we're going to get back to him after this commercial break. But before I get to that, I'm sorry, I'm just a little Fagazza right now.
Well, it must be from the Whitesnake days because you were a fan.
Yeah, I'm a little upset over it.
Yeah, you didn't even tell me before the show, so
I found out on the way in. It's just depressing. Just everything that's going on in this country, and then we start losing icons like that.
Yeah.
I want to thank the band that sings the theme song for Monty and the Pharaoh, Mr. Jimmy Farrell, along with his partner Bart Griggs. They make up the band Wisteria Hall. They sing great songs as Riding High, In My Dreams, This Life, Not Far Behind, Here Comes the Rain. You can find their music on Spotify, iTunes, and Reverb Nation. Please go to the Wisteria Hall YouTube page, hit
like and subscribe. Give them a little love. People are really starting to enjoy your music, Jimmy, you and Bart's music.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
If you didn't notice, this is Monty and the Pharaoh Show, Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. You can catch us on the Monty and the Pharaoh YouTube page, Monty and the Pharaoh Facebook Live page. Hear us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor. Catch us on the Monty and the Pharaoh Twitch TV, Monty and the Pharaoh page. Channel 115 every Tuesday from 7 to 7:30. That's New York cable. And on Channel 20 from 6 a.m.
Hey.
I'm sorry, from 2 a.m. to 2:30.
That's better.
On Friday.
2 a.m. is better than 6 a.m. Yeah, 6
Anyway,
a.m.
so I can get myself back into shape. We'll be right back at this commercial break with pro wrestling ECW legend, Mr. Bill Alfonso. Just woke
Good
up.
morning!
Good morning, Matt.
M&J Video Games and Collectibles. Sport and non-sport cards, wrestling items, autographed items. We buy, sell, and trade. M&J Video Games and Collectibles, located at 1049 Queen Street, Southington, Connecticut. Call us at 1-860-479-9223 or 860-93-GAMES. M&J Video Games and Collectibles. Oh, what's up, Mike?
Hey, Jimmy, what's going on?
Yeah, nothing much.
You know, Jimmy, I love this country.
Oh.
I love to buy Made in America material. And I love to buy my artwork at TAG, T-A-A-G, Made in America, 14 East Broadway, Port Jefferson, New York, 11717. The shop at the corner. All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty the Pharaoh, only seen here live at Indie Music TV with a special Saturday show with ECW legend Bill Alfonso. Bill, it's been about 2 years, brother.
Hey, Daddy, I love it. I catch your show all the time, your variety show. I love it. Every time I get a chance, I check it out. And I wore my shirt you gave me 2 years ago with Crazy Looking For it, and I found it, Daddy. You guys are my boys.
I got to tell you, back 2 years ago, that interview meant the world to me and the show. But the one part who wasn't part of that was probably your biggest fan, Mr. Jimmy Farrow.
He was just letting me know that outside when I was walking in. But I thought I had met him, but I forgot it was just you.
Yeah, he was incapacitated at that time for whatever reason. I can't remember.
I had a virus. I had to kick it.
Before I turn you over to Farrow, how you doing with the whole Corona thing? We have a new president. What's going on, bro?
Brother, I'm just cruising along. I'll be 64 in August, so I had to be careful. I'm a high risk. So I got my 2 shots. I've been traveling around the United States. It's a miracle. Before I got my 2 shots, I didn't catch the damn virus. It's a miracle. Because I work every weekend somewhere in the United States, and it's crazy. Airplanes, cars, buildings full of people, podcasts, and so on and so on. So I'm one of the lucky ones that didn't catch it or whatever. But I got my 2 shots, Daddy. That's for damn sure.
Well, I got to tell you, what do you think about the whole the new president, Joe Biden? Any thoughts on that?
Slow Joe is doing his job. God bless him.
Slow Joe.
And, you know, Trump's out. The reason why I liked Trump, because he reminded me of Vince McMahon, the greatest promoter of them all, Vince. So, that's why I saw Donald Trump as like Vince running WWE is like, the same as Trump running the country. And it's a big work, but we're going to give Joe a chance. He's got the $1.9 trillion package. He's helping some people out. And, of course, gas prices went up. But all good, Daddy. I'm living large. I'm living like a rock star. Here I am in New York, Daddy, doing a show with you guys.
That's right, man.
Woke up in Tampa Bay, and I go back tonight. I'll be home at 10:30 tonight.
There we go.
And get to some decent weather.
Life is good, yeah.
I just want to say again, thank you for being on with the true version of Monty and the Pharaoh. I have waited years for this. Huge fan of yours. ECW was always secretly my favorite company of all back during the Attitude Era. I ran to ECW, believe it or not, before everything else. That was my thing. But let's shift over to...
That's very flattering for me to hear that from you guys. Makes me feel really good. Thank you so much.
Thank you for all
I'm
those
a legend
memories.
in my own mind, that's for sure. But
Huh, you and me both. It's amazing we both got in the room with the egos, but what are you going to do?
It happens.
Fonzie, I wanted to ask you about the dark side of the ring. I don't know how familiar you may be with the
check it out
with the product, but my partner and I sometimes and this is long-standing with us, we go back and forth on Brian Pillman's impact. Mike is not as big on Brian Pillman, but I feel like he made his moments count so much, and that's why we still talk about him today. And so, in a way, while he may not be a legend compared to some, I feel he is legendary. What are your thoughts on Brian Pillman?
the same as yours. I think he was legendary. If he would have lived a bit longer, he would damn sure be in the Hall of Fame. I think he was ahead of his time. He was like ECW almost, kind of, spit off, but he was his own guy, man. He was badass. Pro football player, he had a lot of. I just saw the deal was on the other night, and I watched it, and I know all these guys, man. That's what makes it tough on me, is that I know these guys. I know Rick Rude. I know Kurt Hennig. Brian Pillman. Damn, it hurts sometimes because we're like a family. But no, he's badass. Brian Pillman was badass. I love Brian Pillman. He can work his ass off, high flyer, can wrestle. He's athletic. He had all kind of problems growing up too with his health, but he outdid that. And damn, Brian, we miss you, kid.
What do you think his career would have been like had he, not had an untimely demise? What do you think Vince McMahon would have after the purchase of WCW and of course even ECW? How do you think that would have played out with Vince and Brian Pillman?
Well, unfortunately, Vince wants. Well, no, this is good. Vince's family entertainment. When I started working with Vince in 90, I think it was WrestleMania 9. I think it went there in 92 and 93. And Vince was great, but he was changed in wrestling. He wants the doctor's wife, and the 2 kids at ringside. It's family entertainment. Mm-hmm. Would Pillman fit in there? Maybe not back then, but he would eventually be. Now, who liked the hardcore stuff was Vince's son, Shane. I think Shane turned Vince onto the ECW, and it kind of rubbed off, and Vince drafted a bunch of our guys, the Dudley Boys and so on, made them big stars. I think Pillman would have found his way right in there because he was a likable guy. He was good to look at. The camera loved him. The women loved him. The men wanted to be like him. He was badass. I remember we worked together in WCW for Ted Turner, and we went out, and he wore triple black with a pair of bone-color ostrich boots and that long friggin' curly hair. He was badass, man, and I wanted to be like Brian Pillman. In fact, I bought the same outfit like years later.
That's
I love the ostrich bone-color boots and all black. Looks fucking dope. Can I cuss on this show?
Sure.
I'm not a big cusser, but it slips out once in a while.
Did you volunteer to warm up the girls for Brian Pillman the way you used to for Giant Gonzalez? Like
that
warm
was
them up?
a one-time deal with the Giant, and I wish I would have had that opportunity with Brian Pillman because he snagged some beautiful women.
I can imagine.
Beautiful. It wasn't just the girls that came to wrestling. We'd go to the mall, and he'd have 5 housewives following him around.
Honestly,
I believe it.
Honestly, from watching Dark Side of the Ring, though, that guy should have put a Jimmy on. That guy was making babies all over the place, right?
Really?
That guy was making kids all over.
Oh boy! My favorite part of those ECW days, my favorite wrestler from those ECW days, the whole fucking, yes, you can curse on this show, the whole fucking show, Rob Van Dam. Your thoughts when he went into the Hall of Fame? I, of course, was absolutely thrilled. By the way, why did you not induct him? What's wrong with them? But your thoughts on the whole...
Well, they were limited on the people because they're real limited on...
But you're Fonzie. Limited?
Right. But what did happen that you guys don't know about, before the Hall of Fame, they're doing a documentary. It's going to be released, I think, in late May, RVD, the whole fucking show. Vince McMahon flew 2 camera crews, a sound guy, and a producer to my house, interviewed me for 3.5 hours to be a part of that documentary, which is coming out soon. And then they followed us out to Stevens Point, Wisconsin, and Van Damme, myself, and Katie did the main event. And of course, we stole the show. He's still badass. So, being in the Hall of Fame inductee thing, I was disappointed that much, but it all plays out in the long run.
It sounds like Vince McMahon truly likes you, from what I've read and heard. Your relationship with Vince must be pretty good, no?
I have a great relationship with Vince. I mean, we don't call each other every day, but
I wouldn't expect that.
When I brought the Giant up, I'll tell you the short story. So we were in WCW, and some guy named Jim Hurd, he was a Pizza Hut manager or something,
Spartacus.
Became the CEO of WCW, and he wanted to shave the budget down. So they asked everybody to take a pay cut. The Giant said, Fonzie, I'm not taking a pay cut. Why should I? I signed a contract, it's valid. He said, I'll leave. He said, do you know anybody in WWF? And it was WWF back at the time. I said, yeah, I know J.J. Dillon. That's Vince McMahon's right-hand man. That's his assistant booker. He said, well, call J.J. So I called J.J. and explained to J.J., hey, Fonzie, how you doing? We bullshitted for a minute. I said, we got down to business. And said, hey, they want us to take a pay cut, and we're just weighing our options out. He can go play basketball back in Europe. He can go do this. He can do this. Or would you guys be interested in having the largest pro athlete on the planet on your team, on your roster? He says, well, let me run it by Vince. I'll get back with you, Fonzie. We hung up, real cool. 20 minutes later, my phone rings. Said, Vince wants to know when you guys can come up for a meeting. I said, well, we can come up anytime because he just had an operation. He had a spur taken out of his heel, so we're on downtime. He says, how about tomorrow? I said, okay. So Vince, I said, well, the Giant is going to fly first class because he's the tallest athlete on the planet. And me, I can go coach. No matter, just, Giant's going to be upgraded. So Vince flew us up both first class. Instead of going to Titan Towers, right off of 95 and where Vince's headquarters at, we drove right by it, went to Vince's house. I said, well, okay, this is pretty cool. And Vince, as soon as I walk in, he said, oh, fine, I know who you are. You're athletic, boom, bam, bam. And he liked the way I was communicating with him. He liked the way I dressed. In fact, my first time in Madison Square Gardens, because WCW didn't go to Madison Square, Florida Championship Wrestling didn't go to Madison Square, but Vince did. So when I signed the contract with Vince, I see Madison Square Gardens. I'm excited. Oh my God, I'm going to go to the most famous venue on the planet. What's more famous than Madison Square? Boston Gardens? I don't think so. Toronto Maple Leaf? Nope. I don't think so. The LA Forum? Nope. It's Madison Square. Yep. So I wanted to look good. My first appearance in Madison Square. So, I had a nice suit on. I had a Rolex, I had the Louis Vuitton luggage, and I walk in, and there were guys that we got to get there early because we're doing TV. Did you know I was on the first Monday Night Raw?
There you go.
Okay. So anyway, Madison Square, and Vince sees me, and all the guys are ringside, talking and bullshitting and working out in the ring and stuff. And he says, hey, Fonzie, come over here. He says, Fonzie, you look great. All you other referees, come over here. So all the referees came over. They were in Zubas, T-shirts, tennis shoes. And he says, hey, you see how Fonzie's dressed? From now on, at any pay-per-view, any TV, any big show, I want you to dress just like this. So all the other referees got pissed off at me because they said, hey, Fonzie, why are you going to dress like that? Well, why not? I don't want to look like a guy from the audience. You walk in, you don't have blonde hair and 22-inch guns like Hogan. If you're not freaking sharp looking, they'll think you're from the audience. So I walk in with a beautiful suit and say, hey, who is that? He's somebody, but Oh, that's the referee, Bill Alfonso. Boom. So Vince liked me for many reasons. We did a pull apart. It was Bam Bam Bigelow against, God bless him, Bam Bam Bigelow against Tatanka, where they were shooting an angle, and then they worked for like 3 or 4 months together. So they did a pull apart, and the referees got in there, and I told Bam Bam before the pull apart, I said, hey, Bam Bam, I shouldn't put my hands on you because I'm 162 pounds. And you're 320, you're a beast. So I'm going to be the first one to you. You see that trash can about 40 feet over there? I said, just throw me into the trash can like a bullet. So they did the fight. We did the pull apart. I'm the first guy there. And Bam Bam launches me like a freaking bullet. I fly into the trash can, take a perfect bump, not a scratch on me. And after the scene, Vince calls me over and says, Fonzie, who told you to do that? Who told you to go flying into the trash can? I said, nobody, but I thought it'd be cool because I'm 160 and Bam Bam, is badass. Why wouldn't he throw me into a trash can? So I love it, Fonzie. So he liked me for little reasons like that. It wasn't above and beyond duty. And I worked my ass off, and I was known as one of the better referees in the country. They flew me to Tokyo. The Japanese office brought me to Tokyo. The referee that night, it was the most important match on the planet. There was no bigger match that year than Ric Flair against Fujinami at the Tokyo Dome. 65,000 people indoors. Daddy, was freaking crazy, and I did my job fantastic. So they just don't hire any Tom, Dick, and Harry referee to do stuff like that. So I was known for carrying my weight, and I was trained and educated and schooled by Eddie Graham, the Funks, Dusty Rhodes, who's my hero, and I love him. I told Dusty one time, I said, Dusty, I wish you were my father. He said, I am your father, son. And he took me under his wing, and he was very intricate and very by the book on TV production and so on. That's why I got so good, because I learned from the best.
So, Bill, speaking of Dusty, we had Ronnie Garvin in, I think, like a week and a half ago.
Ronnie Garvin?
Right.
The Stomp.
There you go, the Stomp.
He was great. He was great.
He seemed not to be too much of a big fan of Dusty, and I know how much Dusty meant to you. He felt that Dusty was all about Dusty all the time. What were your thoughts on that?
That's I don't. Well, people got their own opinion, and Ronnie Garvin is entitled to it. Freedom of speech, Daddy. But Dusty was a big producer and a big shot in the wrestling world. Not in the ring too, the American Dream, baby. But backstage, he mentored and ran fantastic shows and did really good for different territories. Anywhere he went, he did good. So Ronnie Garvin, it's your opinion, and they might have had a little 1-2 or something, but maybe that's why I said it, but who knows. But I think Dusty was gold.
All right, with that, we'll be right back with pro wrestling legend Mr. Bill Alfonso.
They told me not to blow my whistle. It's too loud.
That's right, folks. Canine Corral for all your dog daycare and overnight care. Call 631-549-1544. That's 631-549-1544. The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite 4-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah. And Nitro's Garage for all your automotive needs. Call 646-675-2349. That's 646-675-2349. For all your automotive needs, Nitro's Garage. Ask for Jack.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. Monty and the Pharaoh, only seen here out of Indie Music TV. You can catch us every Thursday from 9 to 10 p.m., but this is Saturday.
Saturday
it's
morning.
10 a.m. Well,
it's 11 something.
11 something. Sorry, 11
Wow,
something.
I am
whatever.
sharper than I thought. It's 11
But
something.
we've got special guest, pro wrestling icon, Mr.
Hey, I
Bill
can't believe
Alfonso.
I'm here today. I'm so privileged to be sitting with you guys today, man. I woke up in Tampa Bay. Now I'm sitting here doing the #1 wrestling show, probably to me in the country. Love you guys. You guys have been around a long time. You put a good product out. You got listeners. You got fans.
How do you like the new studio, Bill?
I love the new studio. In fact, I wanted to talk about later, and I want to do some promos here because I like your studio so much.
Good.
I
There
got
you
something
go.
big coming up. It's happening, and we're launching pretty soon. I'll tell you all about it.
Awesome.
Excellent. All right, Fonzie. We lost Jim Crockett recently. Wanted to get your thoughts on the legendary Jim Crockett.
Jim Crockett from Mid-Atlantic?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you about Jim Crockett. He was a hell of a promoter. His whole family was promotion.
Sure.
David Crockett, his father promoted concerts, all kind of stuff. He got into wrestling. He did his job great. I made nothing but money with Jim Crockett. He treated me like gold. I don't know if it was because I worked hard and what it was, but I seem to be well liked by these promoters and big shots. And I got nothing but good stuff to say about Jim Crockett. I didn't even know he passed away. This is a shock to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I figured somebody would have contacted you. That's surprising.
Yeah, and I'm pretty up to date on social media.
That's surprising.
But I've been so busy lately. It's crazy. It's really crazy. I've been not stressing. I'm happily stressing. I'm flying around the country and doing tours with Sandman and Super Crazy. I just did a thing with Van Damme. I'm busy. I'm working for multiple different, they call them indie companies, but, these established companies like AIW out of Cleveland. I just did 2 shows with them back to back. Tommy Rich was on one of the shows with me. Wildfire Tommy Rich. At one time in the early 80s, he was the biggest superstar babyface
Sure was.
in the business.
Sure was.
Bigger than Ric Flair, because he's a little country boy who could throw a hell of a punch and get busted open. He had that blonde hair. He talked like he was a country boy. People loved him, and so did I. It was great to see him.
Bill, last time you were here, we talked about your grandson a little bit. Can you tell us about your family and your grandson and everything?
First of all, my grandson is badass.
Okay.
He just got National Honor Roll. He's advancing. Like the levels in Florida are like are here. And he's 11 years old. He's got, why he's good? Because he's got great parents. My daughter and my son-in-law are freaking super parents. They kept him out of school this year because of the virus, and they homeschooled him. And he's just excelling. He's very good. He's above all the other kids. It's like 1 out of 1,000, they said, or advanced or something. And he's one of those 1 out of 1,000. And I adore him. He's beautiful. And he used to look like me a little bit, but now he's grown into his own self. Now he's got hair under his arms. He's 11 years old. It's freaking me out. He's growing up. My kid's growing up, man. It's freaky but beautiful.
Does he know that his grandfather is this iconic pro wrestling
Yes,
superstar?
he does. Yes, he does. He's got all the belts. He's got the chairs. He's got everything. But I got to stop giving it to him because the mother says, my daughter says, Dad, he can't have all, he's into building $2,000 computers himself and stuff like that. Wrestling was a big deal to him when he was 6 or 7 years old. He's grandpa on TV, but now he's outgrown it, but he still respects it. And I'm just so proud of my grandson and my daughter and my son-in-law for raising that kid. It's tough, man. It's tough.
How hard is it when you get I don't know if you had this conversation or it's coming, when they start talking to you about your partying life or anything like that?
My partying life?
Yeah, is that going to be a tough conversation?
Well, he is super straight, and I'm going to tell you, he's a health fanatic. He's a germaphobe. I brought him home some rice pudding. Did it in a container from Publix, the supermarket. Beautiful rice pudding. And he looked at the ingredients in it. And he said, "Grandpa, there's no nutritional value in this whatsoever. I can't accept it. Thank you, Grandpa, but what was the question?
No nutritional value whatsoever.
Right. He's 11 years old.
I guess the question is, we're talking about some of these wrestlers who have passed away, and obviously it's a rock star.
Oh
lifestyle,
yeah.
right?
Okay, about the drugs and all that.
Yeah.
I've been in Betty Ford 3 times. You get caught up in the damn business sometimes, and 7 or 8 of us have died. Kurt Hennig died in a hotel room in Tampa. Rick Rude. All the guys have passed away. I don't want to be a statistic, so I'm not participating in any narcotics anymore. When I say narcotics, I mean like pain pills and weed and alcohol and all that. I'm not participating too much in all that because I got to be responsible. I want to be a semi-role model to this is parents' job, but I don't want my grandson to know this is grandpa who died in a hotel room. It'd fucking be crazy to tear him up or to tear me up knowing that happened. So I hide the drugs and alcohol from him. We kind of shelter him a little bit, but he's not a dummy. He knows what's going on in life.
Well, you're 64 years old. You look great.
August 11th, the same as Hulk Hogan's birthday. Remember, August 11th was when you wished me happy birthday. Wish the other superstar, Hulk Hogan, a happy birthday to you. Both of us, August 11th.
And you got abs of steel, which is incredible.
Yeah, he does.
Itself.
What's going on here?
I feel really good. I'm working out. I got my weight managed real well. I eat super healthy. I want to live. Hey, listen. If I live another 20 years, that puts me at 84 years old. Can you imagine? 84.
It's a good grade
for that.
That's a good grade on the report card. That works.
Yeah,
that works.
I'll take it. I'll be happy with 10 more years. I'm 73.
I don't know, but it looks like you might be getting 30 out of you.
Yeah, he's on his way.
I don't know, guys. I feel pretty good. I'm not a sickened guy. The thing that happens to me all the time is I get busted open. I get busted up. I got titanium, steel, titanium plates, screws. The other day, I went through a table and I thought I broke my elbow. Get a big gash in my arm.
You're still going through tables?
Yeah, I'm still doing that crazy shit. And I'm volunteering to do it. They don't say, "Hey, Fonzie, would you mind going through a table?" I say, "Hey, don't you think if I do this and that and you guys smash me through a freaking table, that'd be pretty cool?" "Oh, we love it, Fonzie." "Yes, of course." Then when I'm laying on the table like this and seeing a guy do the chair top rope and fly in the midair about 30 feet, I say, "What the hell did I just do?"
That's great.
Bam!
That's great.
A bell run quite a few times. I've had major concussions, and it's showing a little bit now. Like the football players, they get concussions, they suicidal, they thoughts. In the last 3 years, I don't even want to admit this, but it's true. I'm trying to save the other guys too. In the last 2 years, I have woken up not with any drugs or alcohol in my system. I woke up 3 times in the last 2 years not knowing where the fuck I was at. It had to take me about 15 minutes to think, damn it, I live here? Is this my place? My girlfriend says, "Go look in the closet, babe." I said, "What?" It was very fearful when you don't recognize things. But it just lasted 7 minutes. One lasted 8 minutes. One lasted 12 minutes. And it happened 3 times. And I think it's directly from the concussions and a little bit of the abuse of alcohol and so on throughout all the years. But I think it's 90% concussion rate because I've had several. I've had at least 10 concussions where 4 of them I had to be rushed to the hospital and get stitched up or stapled up or they're pretty tough to take, man. And now that I'm gaining some age, it's starting to show a little bit. I hope that's not the sign of the future, but man, it's a tough business, man. It is a tough business. The wrestler's shelf, their lifespan isn't long. All of us die young. especially in the ring, they're like, you get a 5-year, 6-year run. I see all these guys at these conventions and stuff that here. This is a WrestleMania weekend, and there was a show, some type of a meet and greet, some type of autograph thing for 5 days before the WrestleMania and 5 days after, and I was on 3 of them. And I seen Sergeant Slaughter and this guy and that guy and the Nasty Boys. And those guys, the Nasty Boys, weren't going through tables. They were just regular wrestling, regular Vince McMahon sports entertainment style. And the blonde kid, could barely walk. All of them at these conventions. And it was amazing, walking like this or slow, and you could tell something's wrong. Some guys can't even, it's just terrible. So that's another reason I'm trying to take care of my body, guys, is because, it's not that I was a referee for 20-something years. Then I went into managing and went with the ECW and all that. Then I got a little hardcore, started taking a little more bumps. But, man, these guys that take those slams every night, I don't care what people say. If I pick you up, Monty, and slam you, it's not natural. No matter how you fall, try to protect yourself. You're taking thousands of slams in your career. You know how bad that is for your body? That's the problem, man. It's fucking us up, man. But when we're doing it, we don't think that way. We're chasing a dollar. We're chasing that fame. We want to do good. We want to be the best. So it's, one big package, man, and it's fucking crazy. But I love it, Daddy. What else would Bill Alfonso be doing other than the wrestling business? Well, I was thinking of being a brain surgeon or gynecologist that we could take him from head to toe, but that didn't happen. So, you're stuck with me in pro wrestling, Daddy. Sports entertainment, Bill Alfonso. Call it right down the middle, baby, every time.
And I think we could speak for everyone and say we're glad you made that decision. We'll be right back with pro wrestling legend, Mr. Bill Alfonso.
And APB, American Protection Bureau, voted #1 best on Long Island for all your security needs. Call 631-390-9050. That's 631-390-9050. APB.
Do you treat your dog as part of the family? Well, so do we. So why not celebrate your pup's birthday with the ultimate party box? Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Party Pup Info, and let us make your pup's party or any celebration perfection.
Jimmy, I gotta take a dump. What? No, I mean I need a dumpster.
Well, for all those needs, you need to call Big V Dumpster Rental, Long Island, New York, 631-900-DUMP.
Welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. Monty Nefaro, seen only here out of Indie Music TV, a special Saturday edition with WWE, NWA, WCW, ECW icon, Mr. Bill Alfonso.
Hey, thanks, Daddy. I'm having my.
What's he doing? I can't see.
I'm shining, Daddy.
He's shiny. He's a
my,
little shiny.
My forehead, brother.
I'm
I'm 64 years old, so a little pancake.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Daddy. Pancake. Thank you.
What is that from?
Is that from
like
Steve Stooges?
Or I Love Lucy or something. Oh, my Lord.
Thanks, Daddy.
All right.
Sorry, guys.
Right.
Hey, I told the wrestling fans out there, hey, thanks for all the comments. And if you got any questions, type them in, and maybe I can answer some questions for you guys.
We got
That's
some
what it's all
questions.
about.
We got some questions coming up.
Can't wait, Daddy. I love the fans. Thank you so much. Oh.
Check out that nice shiny head. I mean,
Hey, see the shine. I think I need to start wearing makeup.
Hey,
I'm a little
why not?
spotty.
We're on TV a lot. We're taking pictures,
Yeah, damn straight.
oh my Lord. Fonzie, are you watching the current wrestling product today?
No.
Not at all? Are you aware of AEW?
What I watch is the stuff like they're trying to find Triple H, and they've got a crew trying to find stuff for the
WWE
museum
treasures
and all that. I like that. I like stuff like that. They just had Jerry the King on last night or the night before, and I couldn't take my eyes off the stuff. You know what I mean? It was great. I was negotiating and finding stuff. It was pretty cool. I like, the Dark Side of the Ring, of course. We watch it because I know all the guys on there. But the current product, like on Monday nights and the one out of Jacksonville, the AEW, I couldn't tell you who's on top. I met Brian Cage with the big guns. He came into the indie show with me in Cleveland. Oh, no, it was in Nashville about a month ago. We clicked pretty cool. But other than that, I couldn't tell you who's there. I mean, I know Taz and Tilly Blanchard and I know guys my age that are there, but the young guys that are wrestling now, I don't know. It doesn't interest me. But I got to keep up with it to some degree because it's my business.
Sure. So if you not seeing AEW is one thing because that's fine. But I wanted to ask you at least, do you think anybody can ever topple Vince McMahon? Because that's certainly what AEW is trying to do.
Impossible.
Okay.
Nope, they can't.
I tend to agree.
They can compete, but and they have a good product. These guys are billionaires spending money. He's got good guys there. He's got good production people. He's got good cameras. He's got good bookers. He's got all that. But Vince has got 30 years ahead of him, 40 years ahead of him. How can he follow that? How can he follow WrestleMania? Impossible. Vince is the greatest sports entertainment promoter on the face of the planet, and nobody's ever going to touch him. And I wish AEW great success. And in fact, call me, Daddy.
There you go. Fan Charles Wilson is asking, do you think ECW killed the business by having no rules during matches and catering to smart fans?
What's the kid's name?
Charles Wilson.
Hey, Charles Wilson, are you fucking high? It enhanced the business. No, I don't think it hurt at all. I think it was a good product, and there was an audience out there. There was a market for it.
That's for sure.
So it proved itself. Listen, they're still talking about ECW today. They're still talking about the hardcore matches. They're still talking about Terry Funk and Sabu and the Bob Wire match. They're still talking about guys going through tables and all that stuff.
Quarter of a century later, yes.
Yes. So, no, I don't think it hurt us at all. At all. It enhanced the business, really. And I appreciate the question, but, of course I'm going to stick up for ECW because I was a big part of it. Damn. I was with the whole fucking show. And suicidal, homicidal, genocidal, Sabu. Hell yeah, Daddy. He said ECW put wrestling in a different eye. And then everybody copied us. Look, they just put Shaq through a table in Jacksonville, didn't they? Yes.
There you go.
All right, then shut the fuck up.
No,
I'm kidding, brother. No, that's a good question.
No, you can say it. You can say it. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Love you. Stupid question.
Yeah. Legitimate question. Legitimate.
And by the way, what a huge ECW fan. I saw you guys at a high school, for God's sakes, in the late 90s, okay? We weren't smart marks. We were dudes in leather jackets that were looking to smoke a bowl with RVD and Fonzie after the show, and we would watch the show at midnight on MSG. I didn't go on my computer. I didn't type away all day long deciding to break down the product. Dude, that's not how it was, man. That's not how it was.
We were amazing.
ECW was
had never seen anything like this. They haven't seen a thumbtack match or a Taipei death match with a different. You haven't seen any of that.
Right.
So we didn't invent it, but it just formulated throughout our process of learning how to be hardcore.
Fonzie, do you think that sometimes the hardcore almost gets too much attention? Because quite honestly, there were some great wrestlers who came through those doors in ECW as well.
Everybody came through there.
Thank you.
I mean, it was great.
Thank you.
And everybody fit right in, and everybody loved it, and everybody wanted to go above and beyond duty, brother. Just like I said, I volunteered to go through a table. These guys the style, everybody went through there, and it was great.
So on social media,
revolutionized the business in a way.
Absolutely.
I got to hear the story. I see you on Judge Mathis. I don't know how old this video is, but it got really hot on social media with you and Missy Hyatt. What does it deal with that? Is Missy really like that?
Judge Mathis?
No, it was a shoot. What happened was Missy was dating a guy that managed a strip club, and Missy was beautiful, and she was just built, and she was really hot looking. And she just had bought a brand new white Porsche, and I had a Porsche too at the same time. So, so the guy, Missy's boyfriend, was treating her like a stripper because he's a strip club manager. That's his mentality. So they would break up, and she'd call me up and say, "Fonzie, I broke up with my boyfriend. Would you go have a drink with me? Let's go have some lunch or something." I said, "Sure, Missy." Missy's been a friend of mine since years ago, so we did, and then they'd get back together the next freaking day, and this happened about 3 or 4 times. So, and every time they'd get in a fight, she'd call me to console her, and then they'd get back together, which is all good. So she calls me, the phone rings, I pick it up. "Hey, Fonzie, I broke up with my boyfriend," and she's crying on the phone. She says, "Can we go have lunch?" I said, "Of course, baby." She said, "Well, I'm in your driveway." So I come out, there she is, in a brand new freaking Porsche, not even 1,000 miles on it. And she said, "You drive, Fonzie, because I'm too nervous." So I jump behind the wheel. I know how to drive a Porsche. I have one too, I had a 944, badass. And so I was driving a car, and my phone rings. I'm talking on my phone. I'm trying to console Missy, and bumper-to-bumper traffic. Bam! And I smashed into the car. $10,000 in damage. Boom! Immediately. And I said, "Missy, don't worry. We'll get it taken care of. You got full coverage insurance, and there's only deductible. I'll pay for it. Don't worry." So the next day she calls me and says, "Hey, my agent said there was a cancellation on Judge Mathis. And we can go on there. They'll give us a talent fee. They'll give us a per diem. They'll fly us up, put us in a 5-star hotel, and we'll do one of the slots." She said, "You want to do it?" I said, "Okay. Any publicity is good publicity." And she wasn't mad at me, so we went up there, and you seen the thing was a big spill, and the judge, and the judge liked Missy Hyatt, if you know what I mean. He gave me his business card. He said, "Hey, Daddy, if you guys want, you can call me later, whatever."
There's people at home eating this shit up alive for real. Go on. Oh, my God.
So we did the episode. It got high ratings. You know how when you walk out after the judge decides the thing, Fonzie, you're guilty because you hit somebody from behind, it's your fault, you got to pay the deductible, but actually they pay for it. And then you go out after you leave the judge, and you walk out, and the guy interviews you. Say, "Hey, what do you think about the verdict? What's your opinion on the verdict, Mr. Alfonso?" And I said, "Well, I think it was one-sided because she had 2 big assets that I didn't have. That's why she won." And they aired that, and it was great. If you watch it, it's about 7 minutes long. Look up Missy Hyatt, Bill Alfonso on Judge Mathis, and you'll see the finished product. It was pretty cool, and she's giggly and happy, and the judge loved it, and she was good. We were good for the camera, and we told the show. They have producers said, please, we've had, the judge is not in a good mood. We had 4 episodes already there. They tape 8 episodes a day when they're in season or whatever. And the judges die. I said, "Hey, we're in the wrestling business. You do your job, I'll do mine." And we did it really well. And it was one of his favorite episodes, Judge Mathis. He wrote it in whatever. One of my favorite episodes is Fonzie and Missy Hyatt.
There you go. One of my favorite wrestlers from back in the ECW days is the legendary Sandman. You got some stories, some memories of Sandman?
Well, I talk to Sandman all the time.
Okay.
I talked to him yesterday. I talked to him the day before yesterday. I talked to Todd Gordon all the time. He became one of my best friends. In fact, I was just on a 3-day tour with Super Crazy, Sandman, Fonzie, C.W. Anderson, and then their crew, the CCW crew. And we were just on a 3-day tour, and we had a blast. And Sandman rode with me every day. We hung out, and he's just pretty cool to hang out with. Yeah, I got some stories about Sandman. So, we're coming back. We're leaving. We're somewhere in the Northeast. And the only reason I'm telling the story because it's true, and Sandman has told the story himself. So we're coming back from a show. We're driving to the next town. And Raven's driving. Sandman's in the front seat. Little Guido's here, and Fonzie's here. So there's 4 of us in the car. And Raven had got hurt, and they were giving him a real strong opiate for his pain. And Sandman says, hey, give me one of those. And he had been drinking all day, beer and this and that, and worked and took bumps. He was pretty banged up from the day. And Raven says, no, these are too strong for you, Sandman. I suggest you not take it. And Sandman insisted, so Raven gave him one. So we're driving along, and all of a sudden Sandman starts going like this. He's sleeping, but he's snoring. He's like gasping for breath. I said, hey, Raven, look at Sandman, Daddy. He's having trouble breathing. He said, he's okay. I said, all right. About 5 minutes later, I said, hey, Raven, his lips are turning blue, Daddy. He's fucking dying, right? He's not getting air. He's not ODing. He just can't breathe because something, whatever the fuck it was. So we call 911. This is a pretty fucking cool story. So we call 911, and we tell her what happened. She said, hey, my wrestling buddy was a wrestling match. He hit his head, so he took a pain medicine. He's having some type of reaction, and he's not breathing. His lips are turning blue. And where are you guys at? We said, well, we're on Interstate 85, headed north. And she says, well, what exit, what mile marker? We said, mile marker 327. She said, well, get off on 328. We're going to have an ambulance meet you guys there. So it's about 2 miles ahead. So as we pulling off the exit, there's like 10 police cars. The lady, the 911 operator, misinterpreted, thought we were in some type of wrestling, like a street fight or like a big problem. But no, we're in wrestling. It was got hurt in wrestling, pro wrestling with Hulk Hogan. But they didn't know it. They thought we were. So all the cops rushed the car, and then we explained it to him. Hey, his wrestler, no big fight, just wrestling. He hit his head. He took a pain pill. So they end up doing the shit, and they take him to the hospital. So, oh my God, this is terrible. So, a couple hours later, here comes Sandman. We're all waiting for him, pacing back and forth. What the fuck's going on with Sandman? Is he dead or is he alive? So here comes Sandman walking out, and they gave him the shot of Narcan and brought him back to life, and all that was okay. And you know what Sandman said? He was mad at us. You know what he said?
What's that?
He said, hey, Daddy, you guys ruined my fucking high. Sandman, your lips were fucking turning blue, you fucking idiot. I can call him an idiot because he calls me one, and I love him. And Sandman hates when I'm right. So I hate when you're right, Fonzie. But that's a pretty cool story about Sandman dying and coming back to life and all that.
But you ruined his high.
That was
you have some nerve.
Peak of the story. That was a punchline of the story. After all that, Sandman got mad at us for ruining his high.
Oh my God!
He didn't know he was dying.
Bill, Russell Campbell, fan out there, wants to know, how's your relationship with New Jack and Paul Heyman?
I just saw New Jack. We were at WrestleMania. I wasn't at WrestleMania, but we were doing the pre-shows there. And I saw New Jack. We hung out. New Jack is badass. He's a good friend of mine. I love him. He is he's really New Jack. He's really badass. What he says is really happened. He don't fuck around. Paul Heyman, if you ask Paul Heyman, say, hey, Paul Heyman, throughout the big run in ECW, what was your favorite match? What was your favorite match, Paul Heyman? And I was instrumental in helping Paul Heyman in the early 80s get his foot in the door. He already had his foot in the door, but I was assistant booker in Florida for Eddie Graham, Florida Championship Wrestling, and he came down with a guy named Tombstone, and he said, Fonzie, you think I could Tombstone was leaving. He was going back to another territory, and Paul Heyman was trying to get his foot in the door as a manager. He said, "Hey, do you think I can manage Tombstone? Because he's leaving in a couple of weeks. I can go to the ring with him for the last 2 weeks." And he had a pair of old jeans on, a pair of tennis shoes, and a T-shirt. I said, well, I didn't know his parents were wealthy. I didn't know he was educated. I didn't know he had money. I said, well, you can't go to the ring like that. That's for damn sure. Can you have money to buy a suit? He said, oh, yeah. So I said, okay, you can come to the ring with and Tombstone was doing jobs for Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, and at the end of each night, he was getting press slammed. Paul Heyman was getting press slammed by Razor Ramon, but he wasn't Razor, it was Scott Hall. So the instrumental would get him. So anyway, ask Paul Heyman, and there's been thousands of matches. I mean, great matches, world champions, Terry Funk, all kinds of spectacular matches. Shane Douglas, everybody was there. Eddie Guerrero, Van Dam. And Paul Heyman would say, one of my top 3 favorite matches was Beulah and Fonzie.
I was hoping you were going to say that.
And we don't talk every day, but if I seen him, we did a double knockout at the airport, he'd be all over me, I'd be all over him. We're still good friends to this day. And Paul Heyman was very good to me in ECW. In fact, he matched my biggest payday, my one-time, like, say, I'm not going to give you the exact figure, but I will give you the exact figure. I did WrestleMania 9, and I got paid, and I made $25,000. That's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
So we did our first pay-per-view in ECW, which was called Barely Legal, and it did real well. We were on our way. Got good ratings, got good buy rates, and Paul Heyman said, Fonzie, I got a problem. It takes 3 months to accumulate all the money back then for the pay-per-view, so it takes a while for you to get your pay-per-view check. So when the money came in, Paul Heyman said, hey, I got a problem, Fonzie. I said, what, Paul? He says, I don't know what to pay you. You switched from Taz, you were in the main event, you did an angle, you were RVD and Sabu now. It's a big thing, it worked, we love it, but I don't know how much to pay you. And I don't know if he was asking me for my opinion on payment, but I said, well, why don't you pay me the same thing Vince paid me for WrestleMania 9? He said, deal. And I told him the number, and he wrote me a fucking check, and I put it in the bank, and I was $25,000 richer. Thanks, Paulie.
Damn.
That's a pretty fucking good payday for an independent company, but we weren't an independent company. We were a third company with no corporate sponsors. No, we were making, say this is all figure, we were making $12 million a year, but we were spending 13 to make no sponsors, you know what I mean? Till later on, then we started getting, but it was tough, but he still managed to pay me one of the largest paydays I've ever gotten for one night.
All right, with that, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with the legend, Bill Alfonso.
I'm a legend in my own mind.
You need a body shop? You need engine repair? Auto Excellence, Collision Specialists, 631-261-6420. That's 631-261-6420. Auto Excellence.
Elm Logistics, for all your logistic needs. Call 631-299-3595. That's 631-299-3595. Elm Global Logistics. Pride, performance, and partnerships. Jeff Quest, graphics design, custom vinyl lettering, and all your art and video needs. 516-317-8204. That's for Jeff Quest Graphic Design.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. Monty Nefaro, seen only here out of Indie Music TV every Thursday, produced from 9 to 10 p.m., and this is a special Saturday show with one of my favorite guys, definitely your favorite guy, Bill Alfonso.
Thank you. That's very flattering for me to hear that, guys. I really appreciate it.
Well, we love you, man.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
So, Bill, where are you going to be? Got some upcoming events coming up, some things to promote.
Brother, I just got so much stuff coming out. I can talk for hours about it, but I'll cut it short. I'm working all over the country. I'm doing indie shows, which everybody calls them indie shows. I'm working for AIW out of Cleveland. I work there several times a month. I'm working for a company, CCW out of South Florida. I'm working for them all the time. Spectacular company, spectacular talent. I'm making money. I'm doing well. And I just signed a contract with a new idea, which is going to be really good. There's nothing like it out there. It's called ForeverFan.club. ForeverFan.club. And guess who's on it? All the ECW superstars, from Sandman to Shane Douglas to, Francine, Mikey Whipwreck. We're a family, and we have gained so much momentum since ECW popularity in the 90s all the way to 2001 that people all the time want to get connected with ECW. But of course Vince owns ECW, so we're doing a spin-off as a Forever Fan. It's going to be a great concept. It's a big platform where it's going to offer several different things. You're going to have one-on-ones with all your favorite wrestlers, all your favorite extreme superstars, all my friends like Sandman, Todd Gordon, New Jack, Shane Douglas, Super Crazy, Little Guido, Mikey Whipper, everybody, Francine, nobody has done this yet, and the platform is going to exist of offering several different things where you can have one-on-one conversations with the guys, you can get shout-outs, you can buy memorabilia. It's going to be great, and we're launching really short. In fact, this is the first time I'm broadcasting. This is a soft launch, and in about 3 weeks you're going to be here. I think it's going to be the biggest thing of 2021 and social media, because you got all these guys thriving, and you got all these. When I go to these conventions and so on and shows, I get questions all the time. Hey, how's Francine doing? How's Sandman doing? How about Sabu? What's Van Dam doing? And I got to answer all these questions. So these people are going to be actually going to be able to communicate with. Not on a one-on-one, a two-on-two. There'll be multiple, all kinds of stuff. In fact, for the launch, they're doing a contest where the fans can do a promo, like a 1-minute promo, and send it in, and win something pretty fucking cool. And if I'm one of the judges, I'm going to call it right down the middle. So get your promos good, guys. You'll see. Go on, check it out. I'm so excited. I can't even talk. I'm having trouble thinking about this, man. It's so cool, man, the concept. I don't know why somebody hasn't done this before. Doug out of Maryland's the big shot in this. He's doing a fantastic job. He's all first class. He's spending money to make this happen. He's hired the best advertising, the best social media people. I got a personal social media director now. It's off the chain. It's just gonna be sensational. ForeverFan.club. Nothing like it, Daddy. You're gonna be very surprised and very happy once we launch. Guarantee it. 2021. This is gonna be huge for us and for you guys. It's not for us, and you're gonna see what we look like 25 years later. You're going to see Francine still beautiful. You're going to see Missy Hyatt. You're going to see Mikey Whipwreck is bald and big now, and he can't work because he's taking so many bumps. The youngest world champion, Daddy. Yeah. You'll be able to communicate one-on-one. It's going to be super cool, man. I can't wait for you guys to see us.
I'll tell you what, I'm excited about it. Wow, this is a fantastic idea.
Oh, yeah. It's put together, and it's growing and growing. And we're coming up with new stuff. Shane, everybody's on board. Shane. Great. Everybody. Van Dam hasn't signed a contract, but he's going to give me a rub. He's going to support me supporting this new company. And I'm right in the middle of this new company, Daddy, and I can't wait. It's going to be great for everybody to see how we look and talk and feel and think 25 years later, Daddy. Everybody looks great.
I got to tell the fans out there, don't miss out on that opportunity. It's going to be I know I am going to be on it for sure.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to get you guys some guest passes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right in there.
Beautiful.
You're my guys, man.
Awesome.
All right, so we're about out of time, Bill.
No, don't wrap me up, Daddy. I can talk all night long. Do not wrap Bill Alfonso up, baby. I'm not ready to stop talking, baby.
Well, we want to hit you with what we call the Pharaoh's final question.
All right, Daddy.
Wow. The pressure is on. All right. You know what, Fonzie? Thank you, first of all. I was crushed when I didn't get to talk to you a couple of years back, so it's awesome to finally have you here.
Thank you.
With the true Monty and the Pharaoh.
You guys are flattering me. What do you guys want? Free tickets at Madison Square? I can't get them more.
To be honest with you, there's much love here for sure. You're an icon.
First, brother, I've had this shirt for 2 years.
Bro, you don't even
I wore
know.
it 6 times.
It's great,
Six times I wore this shirt, and I knew exactly where it was.
That's what I'm talking about.
When the kid said, Bobby Extreme said, hey, they want you on the show. I said, I know right where that shirt is,
There it is, baby.
Boom,
That's what I'm talking
boom.
about.
There we go.
I was proud to wear it in here for you guys.
There we
We're
go.
proud for you to wear it, believe me.
All right, Fonzie, here we go. I would like you to give me, if you can, your Mount Rushmore 4 faces. The Mount Rushmore of ECW. Who are the 4 faces you would put on a mountaintop for ECW?
All right. No doubt in my mind, Sabu. Suicidal, homicidal, genocidal Sabu.
Is one.
No doubt Paul Heyman. No doubt Sandman.
You only got one more.
Well, the last one is he is superhuman. Really, this kid is superhuman. Nobody can do the 5-star frog splash like RVD.
Thank you.
Eddie Guerrero, fantastic. But Van Dam is he's superhuman, and he's really badass. He's really bad. So that's my 4 right there.
There we go.
And an honorable mention for Todd Gordon, Sandman, and all these guys. But, my guys are, and of course me, honorable mention. I'm chiseled in the back, Daddy.
Yeah. We'll put a whistle next to those.
Hell yeah, Daddy.
There you
I
go.
got my kicks, baby. Did you guys see my kicks?
Uh-oh.
Look at those kicks.
Check out these shoes, guys.
Look at those shoes.
Look at this.
He's got his face on there. I need a pair of shoes.
Yeah, we need Monty and the Pharaoh sneakers.
I've worn them a couple of times. I got a friend making them in Florida. He's got a company. You guys get a hold of me on social media. I'll hook you up with them. They're pretty cool. Does fantastic work, and I love them. And I wore them special for you guys because I don't wear them other than in the ring.
Just make sure no one steps on those. That's
correct,
for sure.
Daddy.
I want to remind fans, next Thursday at 9 p.m., or this Thursday, sorry, we've got WWE superstar Eugene in studio. And just announced for, I believe, June 28th. It's a Monday at 4 p.m. Put it on your calendar. We've got NWA legend Baby Doll in studio.
Baby Doll?
Baby Doll.
Oh, my God. I met her in Texas in 1978, I think.
How about this one, Bill? On June 25th, it's a Saturday at 5 p.m., we have Jules Strongbow in studio. Do you remember Jules Strongbow?
Chief Jay's tag team, WWF tag team champion partner.
Wow. Wow. The gorilla position, all that, Strongbow, my God. Strongbow would go like this. He was an angel. When I was there in WWF, it wasn't WWE yet, Vince wanted to take the word wrestling out of WWF. So Worldwide Entertainment. And Strongbow was an agent. He had to retire from wrestling, but he was an agent, and he'd always go like this. Like Laura and Hardy, those guys, always like that. This is his characteristic. Pretty cool guy. And I love to listen to it. In fact, I'm going to make it a point to listen to Baby Doll, watch Baby Doll on your show, and Strongbow. For sure. I'm not going to miss that one.
All right, if you didn't know it, you are watching Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty the Pharaoh, seen every Thursday from 9 to 10 p.m. You also can catch us on the Facebook Live Monty the Pharaoh page. Also listen to Bill Alfonso at iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Anchor. And also Bill will be part of the compressed compressed version of our New York cable show on Channel 115 every Tuesday from 7 to 7:30, and for early risers from 6 a.m. to 6:30, and for the late night people out there, we have it on Channel 20 Friday from 1:30 a.m. to 2 a.m.
Faro time.
Bill Alfonso,
I want to ask, guys.
it is an honor
I
to
got a
have
favor I
you.
want to ask.
Good.
Can you please not wait 2 years to have me back on your show? Even if I can do it via Zoom or via just telephone or call in or something. I love you guys. Really, I'm not kissing your ass, cause, you know, but you guys have a good product.
Thank
you guys
you.
have a good product,
Thank
and you're
you.
consistent. And presentation is everything, brother. You guys, I enjoy being on the show. Please don't wait 2 years.
You got
me
it.
back on.
You got it.
We're not. Trust me.
got
And
it.
I got to tell you,
Daddy.
thank you,
Because
sir.
you haven't heard about Barry Windham getting shot in the leg by Steve Curtin?
No.
See,
Wait a minute. What about Piper and the alligator?
I got it.
There's
baby.
other stories, dude. He said that at the end of the last interview 2 years ago. You know what?
The near plane crash.
It won't be long. We'll be calling.
Superstar Billy Graham, Fonzie, Kevin Sullivan, Oliver Humperdinck, and Ron Bass almost went down in a plane. We all kissed the fucking ground when we landed, and there was fire trucks and foam trucks lined up again, waiting for us to crash. And we said we'd never get on that twin engine again. Guess what? The guy called us the next week and said, "Hey, it was a carburetor we got on the same damn old
Right
fucking
back to
Piper,
business.
whatever the fuck it was. It was crazy."
Right back to business.
Well, with that, we want to thank Bill Alfonso. We'll see you guys next Thursday from 9 to 10 p.m. with Eugene.